Good evening and welcome back to the Therme Olimia Resort in Podcetrtek, Slovenia for the 3 8-ball finals here at the Kamui European Youth Pool Championships organised by the European Pocket Billiard Federation. So let's introduce our finalists, and firstly on table 3 it's the girls' gold medal match. So welcome from France, Rachel Enfoy. And her opponent from Poland. Let's hear it for Julia Sawała. On table 2, it's the boys under 17s. So will you welcome from Slovakia, Mark Zabo. And representing Germany, will you welcome Haojing Zhang. And finally, on table 1, it's the boys under 19s finals. So welcome into the arena, representing Norway, Robin Hauge Pettersen. And his opponent from Sweden, will you welcome Gabriel Aspholm. The girls' final is a race to 5, the under 17s a race to 6, and the under 19s a race to 7. And your referees in charge of tonight's matches are on table 3, Alexander Vulovic of Serbia. On table 2, Vladislav Belkovs of Latvia. And here on table 1, Serdar Karadag of Turkey. Players, you may lag for the break.
Thank you, Luke Riches, for such a fine introduction, and welcome back everybody to Pro Billiard TV. This is the final of the Kamui EPBF European Pool Youth Championship 8-ball. And on this table we will have the under 19 division, and this match will be between Robin Hauge Pettersen from Norway. He will be taking on Gabriel Aspholm from Sweden. Scandinavian clash. It's a race to 7 alternating the break. The tables are tapped. The schedule for today, as you can see, I've had some good matches, especially Ingrassi, Pettersen, a nail biter. Went all the way. Also, Pulhorn and Zhang. Crazy match. High quality match too. So we see Pettersen in the final, Zhang in the final. Also Rachel and Enfoy did play very strong in the semifinal, so maybe the favorites, who knows? We're gonna find out very soon. We do still have 2 more days to come after this. The event finishes on Tuesday. We still have the 9-ball running and the team division. Different dynamic, a lot of fun. Make sure to stay tuned at Pro Billiard TV. Pettersen to break the balls first. Gets the cue ball past the side. Some impact. But nothing finding its way. For a second, the 15 looked like it was going to drop. This might be pretty much open though. For stripes, the 10 ball needs some work. So could be 11, 12, 14 or 11, 12, 9, 14. Maybe cross over from the 14 to the short side of the 10. Could also go, I was going to say maybe off the 11 to the 14 and leave the 12 there as a backup. It's like, of course, the 10 ball needs work on the positional side. But a 14 is not in a great position either, just by itself on the right long rail. Well, it's going to be pretty straight on this. So we'll have to rely on some pinpoint position. Needs to draw back to where he is now, straight on the 9. To draw back from the 13 enough to get on the 10. I would like to leave himself like a little angle towards the long rail, so you could maybe use a little bit of right spin to help the cue ball back up. I think this is a bit more than he would have liked. I mean, I'm not saying it's not there, but maybe a little straighter would have been nice. Was expecting him to just float the 9 in. Stay a bit closer. Yeah, you could see he knows his position on the 13 is a little bit tricky. And by using his extension, I kind of feel like he's not wanting to go shoot it, but kind of have to play. Real did pop the cue ball out a bit more. I mean, he did cut it a bit more and not as smooth of a draw. And now he doesn't have the extension anymore. I think he took a bit too much time on the 13. How is he going to land on the 8? Maybe just go full top spin into the 4. Catch the top side. Cue ball might run 3 rails around for the 8. No, he tried to hold it. So first mistake from the match. Yeah, I like the way he played the rack. It's just that eventually he didn't get the shape. The desired shape on the trickiest ball on the table. Now he's going to play maybe the 7 in the middle with the safety in mind. If he doesn't make it, could leave a jump. So not a big fan. I'd rather play a good safety instead of a little bit of an in-between. Better just to push the 4 to the center of the table. Follow the cue ball near the side pocket. He really wants to go the in-between. Of course, if he makes it, has a chance to win the rack. See, he mainly played for the save. He barely made a try on the 7. He might have even left the bank. No, it's going to be the jump, but not sure about the safety. This is a very makeable jump. And I think he's always going to be on the 8. Well, let's make the jump first. Yeah, I think if you look at the position he played for the 8, I think he was really trying to hold the cue ball. In this case, I would have said even if you know, just make the ball, the cue ball might run towards the 7 and it's still okay. So, a little bit of a mistake on the jump. Pettersson back at the table. Aspon should not hope for another opportunity this rack. Unless a very surprising miss would occur. So many ways to run this out. I kind of like to take the 7 now. 7, and if you draw back, you can pick either one of the 2 balls to the middle. Just the layout where you have to run the cue ball the least. I don't really know what he's played for there. This is why I probably would have liked to play the 7 first. Now we will have to do a lot more, probably. Run the cue ball into the bottom short rail with inside spin. Oh, he might be even drawing. Back on track, but you can see, I think it's a little bit of experience here. Like, you don't want to be running the cue ball that much. Keep it simple. Oh, he's back in prime shape though. Played a good recovery shot. Can play low left on this to be straight on the 8. And it's Robin Hage Pettersson taking the opening rack here in this final. Yeah, nice crowd. Of course, the Norwegians rooting for their team compatriot. So now Aspom to break the balls. Could have already stolen the opening rack to put himself in a great position breaking, but will have to come from his own break. And the cue ball straight into the middle. was a little bit of a stutter. If you looked at his stroke, he followed through, stopped, and then pushed another half a diamond. And I think that's where he kind of missed how smooth the stroke had to be. It was a little bit choppy. I mean, understandable. He's playing a European Championship final. Yeah, both players have not won any titles yet in the junior division, so today we are going to crown a first-time European champion. I think it will be difficult to pick in this final. Of course, now the beginning looking a little bit in favor of Pettersson. But then at times, like, kind of interesting how you feel like he's cueing the ball well, but then at times he just misses a ball where you can just not imagine him missing that kind of shot. It's very interesting. And a bit of frustration there also. Now for Aspom, the 15, his biggest problem. Could take the 9 and maybe get on the 15 right now. Slide around the 5 ball. Or maybe even with topspin directly into the 5, something like that. But you're never going to get great on the 15. Did go for the 9, but still didn't go forward. I don't know. I was thinking also, if you run forward and you hang the 9 ball into the top left corner, you also block away for the 6. So another great chance for Pettersson. Interesting. He's looking at playing the combination and running the 3 ball open. Doesn't really have to. He's played it well, so if it works, it works. I was gonna say, could have played rail first, for example, and could always use the 7 to land on the 3 ball. Probably will have to go straight over towards the 9. Good news is, I was going to say, if you take that line, you should always be on the 1 or the 5 ball. Yeah, with the 1 ball not going to the bottom right, maybe not even going to the right middle, he feels like he has to take the 1 ball on now. So a lot of traffic though. Catch the wrong piece of the 8, catch the wrong piece of the 11. But he hasn't. Just a little bit awkward queuing over the 8. But as you could see, he's already telling himself, I can leave myself a diamond, diamond and a half out. And I'm still on the cut for the 8 ball. Awkward queuing over 15. Ooh! Well, he's definitely missed that. But the stripe making it a bigger pocket, so 2-0 on the board. Gotta say, a boat looking nervy. Aspom didn't close it out the first rack. Scratch in the second rack. Okay, Pettersson has closed it out, but twice. I don't feel like he's very comfortable. If you look at the speed he's been playing, the cue ball has been loose a little bit here and there. Yeah, just look at the 8. Too wide, but the 13 helping him a little hand. Oh, and also Pettersson now, the cue ball straight into the middle. How does everything land? I think the 1 ball was going to block. Not sure. Yeah, the 1 ball is going to block the 15, I think. The 3 ball might not go to the corners. Good news is he could start with the 6 in the middle. The first couple solids are okay. Just wonder if the 3 ball goes to the bottom left. Solids is a way better choice. If it doesn't, you might be able to take a stripe on to the middle and run the 15 open. Well, this means the 3 ball does go. Or at least, well, he's aligning it. I think it would be nice to be kind of straight on the 1. Yeah, didn't have the full corner. I think he really had to cheat that to be able to make the 3 ball. I think it's a very important rack for him to run out in this final. As I usually say, the first and the last rack of the match can be very tense. The first one kind of gets you going. And the last one, well, we all understand you're trying to close it out. Doesn't always come easy. Oh, I didn't like going forward that much. Still, it's not bad. If he stops the cue ball on the 2, he's always guaranteed a 4 or the 5 ball. And he's missed the 2. Yeah, and came from a bit of a loose cue ball from the 1, probably trying to get back to the table 3 rails. And I did like the low left. Try to stay away from all the traffic. So now Pettersson, the only problem, or I was assuming the 14 does not go to the top left, but it might. In that case, you can go right over now to the 9 and the 11. Well, if you do not land nice on the 9 or the 11, you can always take the 10 and the 12. 10, 12, 9, 11, 14, 13, 8 in the bottom right. Does work. Just depends on how exactly he landed here on the 9. So it's looking like 11, 14, 10, 13, 12, 13 into the top left, I assume. Yeah, so no 10, 13, 12. He played himself onto the 13 first. We'll have to land as straight as possible on this 10 to the middle. If he by accident gives himself some angle, things could get worse. That's the problem with playing into the middle pockets at times. Ooh. See, now he's already considering leaving the 10 into the middle. But that was not the original plan. He was looking to play the 10 in the middle, so... Yeah, it just became worse and worse. He's called a 10 into the bottom right. This could be a let-off Aspolm needs. The one he needs if the 10 doesn't go, but it looks close. Oh, at least it's close. And look at the cue ball. Frozen up on the 5. Gabriel might have a cut on the 2. I would not even watch the cue ball. Well, it depends. You could also play safe behind the 7. Nick the 5, go 2 rails. And hope your opponent doesn't make the 10, but he's gonna take his chances. Could he maybe make the 2 at the same time? The 2 and the 10? Oh, he's played a good shot, but now... I was gonna say, how is he going to solve the 8? And he's looking to play the 8 by the 10. And I'm kind of assuming, or at least I mean, the 8 does go into the bottom right, but I like playing shape on it maybe. Ooh, he's left himself a little bit more angle on the 4. I was gonna say, if he gets straight on the 4, give yourself angle on the 7. You can go 2 rails to the bottom of the 8. Still many options. Just give yourself an angle on the 7. Ooh. Yeah, didn't really play much right spin or stun either. On the new cloth, always tends to bend a little bit forward. So is he going to play the short side? Or is he just trying to go play for the 8 by the 10? Oh. Well, that's now twice in a row living on the edge. So he's called the 8 by the 10. I'm honestly not sure also what he's looking at when coming to this side of the table. You know exactly what to do. Hit the 10 full, or at least a little bit to the right side. Yeah, this is an important moment though. 2-1 or 3-0. Big difference. Yeah, beautiful shot. Gabriel Aspeln kind of survives the scare in this. 2-1, and he does have the break. Yeah, I just didn't like how Pettersson tried to run himself towards the end of the rack. Table 2, the under 17 final. Mark Szabo and Haojing Zhang, 2 each. Table 3, already finished. Rachel and Froid, 5-0 against Julia Alexandra Chabala. Congratulations, France, another gold medal. She's been doing well over the years, Rachel. Oh, this is more like it, but was going to be dry. And then also unlucky for the cue ball to be banked into the corner. Yeah, a little bit of a 50-50 rack for both. I don't mind the solids. 1-7, go to the 4. Then go down table. But, you know, you could definitely go stripes. As long as you get on the 11 very soon. I like 1-7-4. 6 to the bottom right. 3 in the middle. 5-8. Well, I'm still a little bit worried about the 7. The fact why I did like to go 1-7-4 is because the 1 was already nice to put yourself close to the 7 ball. Well, might have to run into the 15. I think he was trying to be closer on the 4 to play a 7 in the middle and still to have the 7 in the middle to go to the 8. It's not easy also. So it needs a bit of a recovery. And that little nudge on the 7. Did he actually get it onto the corner? If he did, just draw would work. Yeah, off. Well, the scratch from Aspholm. That's now 2 scratches on his own break. Pettersson clears up. This was not an easy layout at all. Really had to solve a couple things. Also, the little bump he played on the 3 ball was necessary. And this little kiss on the 15. So far, Pettersson looking a bit stronger into this final, but I also think mainly because of the break, Aspholm missed a chance in the first rack and then 2 scratches on the break. And we all know how important the break is in 8 ball. Yeah, all the results from today. Szabo currently 3-2 up against Zhang. And Zhang at the table. Here, a quick view. This is the future. They're all sitting there hoping for a place in the finals maybe in the next couple days. Soaking up the experience. Cue ball is really tracking towards the middle a lot for both of them. This one is wide open, fastball. Good chance to climb once again back into this match. Yeah, could go 1-5, 4-6, 3-7-8. Just from the 6 to the 3 ball, I find could be a little tricky. Another combination, 5-1. No. Surprised he's taking this on. Because if you land close on the 15, now you cannot put yourself nicer on the 4. Why did he not just push the 5 into the 1 and keep it over the corner? So that means he will have to leave himself more cut on the 4. Can he still cut the 4 and hold the cue ball? Take the pace off the cue ball a little bit by nudging the stripe next to it. Oh, he's even looking at taking on a long one. I'm not gonna take on the 6. I don't feel the 6. Well, the good news with the 6 is you can play pocket speed. You're guaranteed on the 4. I just don't like 4-7-3 because again you'll have to drop back from the 7 to the 3 ball so perfectly. I mean, nothing is impossible. Could also go a little bit forward on this 6, 3, 7, 4, 8. Now, if he wants to get closer to the 7, could potentially play the 4 off the 11 if he really needs to create an angle. But as I said, to draw back and land exactly perfect from the 7 to the 3 ball, this is key shot coming up. Well, looks like he's left himself a nice angle there, to be honest, to be able to go forward. Still choosing to stun this to the center of the table. He liked to put that stun stroke into play. Yeah, too much stun. And I'm surprised, why did he not go into the rail and play the 8 into the top right? Stay away from the traffic. So this is a big cut into the bottom right on the 8. Oh, beautiful cut, but really needed this one. So 3-2. It's now been a couple times where just not sure, but both of them could have played maybe a little bit easier. Here also, why not play the 5-1 combination? That kind of got him into the difficult position. And here wasn't just a stun. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Pettersson leading 3-2 over Aspholm. And 3 each on table 2 between Jabo and Zhang. With Jabo at the table. Yeah, not necessarily sure. I think he was just going to grab a water, Pettersson. So no timeout. Now Aspholm breaking the balls. Might have to take a little bit off the break. Yeah, looks a lot better. Nice square hit. Cue ball pops past the side. Any clusters? Do we see any problems? I don't think so. Just wondering, can he go off the 10, 1 reel for the 11 into the same middle? That's what he's placed for, yes. Now I like to go to the 9, because the 9 is a bit of a lonely one on the left long rail. Not sure if maybe he has too much angle for this. If he could, I would like to go. A little nudge on the 6, I think. Does he still have the cut on the 9? Apparently he does. Otherwise he could have been in big trouble. So could cross over. Has to be careful not to push the 8 ball in a bad position. Yeah, he's hit it too thick. Straight into the rail. Yeah, you could see it instantly go into the rail. Now for Patterson means the 6 could be a problem. But maybe he could cut the 1 ball in and leave himself the 6 to the top left right away. Yeah, I'm just surprised he probably took one of the more difficult shots on the table to be right amongst the balls. In this case, I would say don't make things too difficult. Last pawn. Just draw back. You're always going to have either the 13 or the 12 into the 9. But I might have to play the 9 ball now directly and try to get shape, because it's now twice where you had to draw this back and he only drew back half a ball. A diamond or 2 diamonds, everything would have been fine, just up table. Now has to be careful not to push the 12 next to the 6 ball. That's why he's going directly. It's recovered. Not easy to put yourself straight enough on the 13. Much more angle could have been a problem, but in this case, no problem at all. He's looking at stunning this. I don't mind running into the rail with a little bit of left. I believe it's straight enough for top left spin to play the 8 in the right middle. Oh, he's played the 8 for the same corner. Okay. Still a good choice. This is for 3 each. Would mean he's right back into this match. Yeah, so we're almost midway match. Again, this missed 9 ball. I'm still surprised why Pettersson did not take the 1 ball on. And here, a bit short, had to take a different route. In the end, doesn't matter, he made the 8. And we're 3 each in a race to 7. Looks like Pettersson has taken his time out. So we can have a little look at table 2, where Mark Jabo from Slovakia is now currently up 4-3. In the match we have here between Pettersson and Osborne, I feel like, of course, some mistakes left and right, but a lot of it is the break too. I mean, the break is a couple scratches already. It's a massive thing in 8 ball. And Jabo now 5-3 up against Zhang. Yeah, so interesting thing is Zhang also reaching the final earlier. I believe it was in the straight pull division. So he's been playing really well, but then yet finds himself down. How is he going to recover? Same for Mark Jabo. Mark losing in the final of the 10 ball, under 17. And Zhang losing to Max Benko in the straight pull. Now, kind of starting over this match. 3 each, Pettersson to break. Race to 4 from this point. And the cue ball again, straight into the middle. I mean, it's already coming off the rack towards the 3rd diamond on the long rail, so the aiming already not square enough. And then, of course, we are breaking with just a hint of top spin, so the cue ball breaks near the center of the table. Yeah, that kind of was enough to curve into the middle. Now, if you can go from the 2 towards the 10 and you land on the 1 ball, imagine 1, 6, 4, 3, 5, 7, 8. Like, you've got so much space near the other solids. But he's going for the stripes, okay. I usually take the one where I have to play 1 good shot and all the others are so open, you have space to work the cue ball. For the stripes, I just feel like the 10 and the 14 are a bit in the way to get on the 15. Now if he would take the 13 and run into the 14, that would open things up. But then also the 2 ball is kind of blocking the 12 into the middle, the 8 into the middle, so this is bad news. Unless the 14 still goes by the 15, otherwise I think this might be the end of the run. Oh, it does go. Yes, you can see one ball away from the title. Mark Szabo is taking a little sip of the water he has. Probably the biggest moment of his career. And after losing the final in the 10 ball to his countryman, he does get the job done. And I gotta say, he's played very well today. And look at the celebration, look at that. I think he might not understand yet what he's just done. I think pure relief there. Oh. So, of course, congratulations to both players, both Zhang
Ladies and gentlemen, your Kamui
and
European
Szabo, of
Ball
course.
Under 17 8-ball champion from Slovakia, Mark Szabo.
Yeah, now Pettersson really having a nice layout, to be honest. 4-5, probably 5-7, 6 in the middle, 1-8, or I think I like 4-5-7, 1, 6 in the middle, 8 in the middle. And it's just connecting the dots. Shouldn't be doing many strange things here. Yeah, kind of a gift from Aspholm. I really feel like the solids were laying well. If you look at how easily Pettersson made work of it, especially with these balls out of the way. I'm not saying the stripes were impossible to run out. I just really think the solids were laying so well. And Pettersson picking up the pieces. And all the pressure back on Aspholm's break again. Yeah, nice square hit. Nicely controlled, but when I said last time, maybe has to take a bit off on the break. I feel like he did it that time, and this time, again, more punch. There's still some challenges. I mean, of course, you have to go for the stripes with the 4 and the 3 laying quite bad. But if you take the 10 early, you still have to find a way to get back on the 14. So I like to take the 13 out as soon as possible. And you need to get on the 14 to get to the 11. Oh yeah, he could play the 13 right now. Or maybe he could play the 14 right now. As it does go by the 10. I didn't see that. Needs to be careful. If he stuns this, he might push the 7 quite near the 10. Now, I like how he's clearing up the bottom side of the table. The biggest issue with the 13 is the fact that 2 pockets are not available for the 13. So I like to get on it probably sooner than the other 2 stripes next to the 8. That's what he was looking for. I like that. Because if you play the 12 and now suddenly you have to run into the 15, the 13 doesn't go to the top right, and now suddenly you are looking for ways to still get out. Now if he leaves himself a mini angle on the 15 to draw into the 8, everything should be fine, and he should make a gap. Well, the 1 ball does make the side pocket a bit bigger, but could have done with not bringing the cue ball so close to the rail. Well, you can see the nerves. But he makes it straight in, so 5-3. Again, big momentum swing for the Norwegian. And he's got the break. Can he break himself onto the hill? Of course, don't forget, we do have the award ceremonies for the 8 ball coming up right after this. So please don't go anywhere. Probably the most beautiful thing you will see this Sunday. So now a timeout for Aspholm. Yeah, of course, he's also trying to put Pettersson in the chair. Hold him there, you know. Just see if you can create any different momentum. It's always a bit of a guess. Okay, sure, he could also go for the restroom break, of course, but for me, in general, it has always been a bit of a combination. It has been the restroom break and just choosing the right moment to try and hold everybody off, to hold my opponent off. So we will just have to wait a couple minutes. Of course, we do have the next European champion coming. Here's the trophy. One of these two players is going to be crowned European champion for the first time. The biggest moment of their career. So you can imagine this match could be far from over. Both still could be experiencing so many feelings. And I mean, to pull the trigger when you know it's the biggest moment of your career, like this is also something special, but very scary. So there's still so many ways this could go. Now, as I said, we do have 2 more days coming. Of course, the 9-ball has started and the teams is running. So till Tuesday, we still have the European Junior Championships going. And then from the 31st, the Pro Billiard Series will go to Rome. So from the 31st, we do have 7 more days of action to come on Pro Billiard TV. So make sure to stay tuned on all our socials. Make sure to, well, I believe it's subscribe. They can actually give you a message when we are going live. So make sure to turn on all that. And now let's get this final going. We will be going all the way till the end. No more timeouts from either player. It's Pettersson to break, looking to put himself on the hill first. Well, I said to try and get himself on the hill first, but not with another dry break. And both solids and stripes are nicely open. I think I like to start 3-1-7. He's going 3-7-1. Either way, don't think it makes such a big deal. 2 in the middle. I think I like to go 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. But you could also play 2, 5, 6, 4, 8. Just the only thing is playing onto the shots to the middle. Like I mentioned earlier, it's really easy to fall on the wrong line. So you have to put extra time in to make sure you get the desired position. Well, he is straight on the 5, so 5, 6, 4 definitely works. In the position he is now, with how perfect he landed on the 5, I would not opt to go 5, 4, 6. That's what he's played for, though. Just because you have to run the cue ball now more traveling. More cue ball action, top spin. I'm definitely not crossing the 13. I'm definitely staying in between the 13 and the 8. And he's now suddenly looking at playing the 6. Also uses extension, so he didn't make up a plan. Taking a lot of time here. Yeah, I think I really like to play the 6 first. 5, 6, 4. But it's him at the table and not me. 1 real out. There's the pace. Should be fine. He's playing a little bit slower, taking a bit more time on every shot. It's like he realizes any mistake could lose him the match from this point. So it's 5-4 and ospuncal breaking. I mean, this match, every time there's like a little gap, something happens, they go back to even. You would say the perfect ingredient to make this a hill match, but I'm quite sure a lot of viewers and the players themselves, quite sure they would love to disagree with me. They would love to see this go either side and not hill. Well, I cannot help you with that, to be honest. So now, ospuncal breaking. I feel like both players actually maybe putting a little bit too much into the break. Well, this time it does make 1 into the top left. But again, if you look at the balls into the middle, they were not going. So that, I mean, it's still a bit of an issue. It's still something to solve if you would want to break again later this match. But for now, this is a chance to go 5 each. Gotta say he's a little bit forced into taking the solids. Can he take the 3 ball and go 1 rail to the 6, I believe it was. No, the 6 is on top of the table. The 4. I like the 3. Get on the 4. Then if you make the 5 into the middle, okay, you will still have to figure out the top side of the table a little bit, but at least you got rid of the more difficult shots. 4, 5. Kill the cue ball on the 1. 6, 7 in the middle. 8 to the top left. Good work. Oh, he's playing. Oh, he's playing at 5 by the 15. I don't mind him taking that ball. It's just that he was on the 4 ball. And now to have another chance to get on the 4, this could go wrong. You might never get on the 4 ball anymore. So he kind of threw away a nice position and a nice opportunity to take the 4. Well, did he just he might have still landed on this 4. This might not be horrible, even if he has to go with draw right and 2 rails for the 7 in the right middle. He might be on it. He doesn't... I mean, he's not looking at it like it does go, but from this angle, I might give it a chance. So he has to go for the recovery. Oh. Yeah, like I said, when he had the look at the 4, when he had the shot on, I did find the 4 more priority than the 5 ball. That might cost him the rack. But he's played a little bit of a tactical shot. Now, Pettersson could play a stop shot on the 14, freeze the cue ball up on the 8, force his opponent to do something with the 7. He's going aggressive. We'll have to find a way to open up the 13. Well, I don't mind this at all, but why did he not play to get the cue ball behind the 14 and the 8? Might have left something to swing at. Cut. Does make it. Where's the cue ball? Where's the cue ball? Wow, and he's on the 8. What a shot. Beautiful shot right there. That's why I said the safety from Pettersson. He should have played at least the cue ball to the second diamond on the short rail to get a 4 and the 8 in between. Cannot leave your opponent on there. And that means we are going now 5 each. Only a race to 2 for the title. So all eyes on Pettersson's break now. This is to get himself on the hill. The last time he had a dry break. Well, it's not one of the balls tracking towards the middle, but there is one to slip in. Can stay at the table. This now has turned into a chance. He's broken them well, if you look at the cue ball as well. Now, could go solids, could go stripes. If you go stripes, you can use the 14 to get on the 11 to the top right, so no limitations. Could go 13, 14, 11, 12, 9, 10, 8 in the middle. For the solids, could go 2, 7, go up table, and then end with the 6 in the bottom right and the 8 in the middle. So either way, a good rack with decent percentages, but of course there is pressure. And we've seen it before. When one shot gets out of line a little bit, it's easy to get worse and worse per shot. Just gotta make sure if he could bring the cue ball off the rail, that would be ideal. That would be nice. I think with this angle, I think it's quite natural to go with top spin. One rail around the 10. If you stun this, how often do you see the cue ball slide very near the 8? Now suddenly you could miss the ball or maybe even hook yourself. Oh! And what have you done there? Why would you try and get all the way straight? What have you done? Well, you gotta go airborne, but even if you stop the cue ball, you have the 8 into the top right, or the top left in this view. Oh, this could be a crucial mistake. And he needs the recovery. Can the Predator and Rush Jump Cue save him? It was close. It was a good try, but what a mistake. Now everything up for grabs for Aspholm. Gotta say, where the cue ball landed. Not the easiest opening shot. Could take on the 4. That, or maybe the 6 in the middle. You run the cue ball towards the 4 ball. In that case, you're always going to be on the 4 or the 5. If you miss it, most likely you're at least not going to leave the 8 in the open. To play this 4 soft over the length of the table is not my favorite either. Or you just go at it. He said, I have a chance. I gotta shoot. You cannot win if you don't shoot. So, good choice. Can you handle the pressure? This is painful for Pettersson too. Had a chance at 5-3 breaking. Came up dry. That could have been a chance to put himself on the hill first. And then now, hooking himself on the 8. Well, top left spin. Just try to put yourself close to your work, you know, like center of the table. In that case, the 1 or the 3 ball would always work. Chose to go 3 rails around. The only reason why I'm not a fan of that kind of shot, especially with the small angle he had, is if the cue ball stays near the left long rail. The 1 or the 3 could be very tricky. He is at least off the rail. Could play the 3 ball to go to the 5 and then the 1 in the middle. If you run the cue ball forward, at least you cannot leave a shot on the 8 in case you do something stupid. Yeah, so it is the Swede. Now getting on the hill first. Couple clutch shots, but unbelievable wreck we've just seen. I mean, he could not have played any better till that point. How did he even get there on the 8? Now Spawn clearing up, and he does have the break now next. So Pettersson really have to pray from the chair a bit, hoping for another opportunity. Get this 6 each, and then being successful on his own break. Yeah, the worst thing also for Pettersson, if he looks back at the match and he looks at the shot where he hooked himself on the 8, he's going to realize, if I stopped the cue ball on the 10, I would have had the 8 straight into the top right also. It's like you're just trying to make things so easy for yourself, and then afterwards you ask yourself, why did I even do that? Unfortunately, I have experienced it myself. Aspom to break in the 12th rack. Oh, cue ball. Ooh, hoo, hoo. That would have been the full drama. Yeah, again, too much power, as in, if you look at the balls going to the middle, again, they were not going. Now, does he have anything to work with? Does have a 1-3 combination. 1-3 combination, then play a safety on the 7, like roll up on the 7, cue ball behind the 5. Could work. Should see the 5-7 combination, a bit off angle. Yeah, it wasn't the easiest, and I also feel like him trying to force the cue ball off the rail is not much easier. So Pettersson at least got himself another chance at the table. Can he cut from this position? If he can cut... Ooh. I don't like it that much. I was gonna say, if he can cut from this position, then I don't understand why Osborne played it with this pace. I mean, kind of like 6, go to the 4. There is a 5-7 combination. It's a bit off angle, but it's there. Well, he's going to leave himself the angle on the 1 to stun over to the 4. Kind of like drawing from the 1 in the middle into the long rail. Not just crossing the positional area, more into the long rail and out softly. In that case, you run towards the 4. It's a little bit more work. I think it gives you way more security on how you land on the 4. Can you imagine 1 rack for the title? We might get to that stage. Oh. Yeah, he's got off angle. We'll have to run into the 8. This is why I kind of liked running into the rail and out. Stay away from having the cue ball on the rail. I don't like the jacking up. I was thinking with topspin, you're going to push the 8 over the middle. Oh, and he's missed the 8 and the 13. So we're going to have to see some magic. And otherwise... Oh, he's called the 8 in the bottom right. Does he go? Because if it does go, well, I don't know what he's trying. Is he going to try and follow it off the 11? So that could be the last shot he's played. Yeah, just make sure if you play this 14, just don't play it too soft. You don't want to push the 8 together with the 11 by accident. You always have the 10 over the over the corner and the 12. Now I do like to leave the 10 and the 11 till the end. So 13, 12, 15, 9, or 13, 15, 9, 12. Now, the 11 would never be my last ball though to go to the 8. I have to say, with how he's left the 8 and the 11, any mistake could still give Pettersson a bank to the bottom left, or maybe again to follow behind the 11. So there is a bit more pressure. There's no security. He has to run out for the title. Would be the second Swede this weekend, or this week, to win a title. After Walter like a lot of traveling here. Very unnecessary. Could have played the 15 into the middle. Keep it simple. Like now I would have loved to be the 15 in the middle. Get myself on the 11. Tap, tap, tap. What's your belt? What's your shirt? He's playing low. Does he go far enough? Does he get the 11? I think that means he might be just on it. Crazy ending to this match. But I really, really don't like this. How often did I see people play the 11 before the 8 and not getting on the 8? Anyways, 2 balls away from the title. Should be okay to go twice the long rail. But if you catch the 8 and you do not land on it, you're gonna feel stupid forever. And this is exactly the reason why I would not have the 11 to go to the 8 at the end. You have to hit it so thin, and then with the left spin to barely pass by it. Super sensitive. And now, I mean, he might be just cutting for the win. I might play this to the top short rail and pray my opponent is not making a straight back. I think he's going for the risk. No. He's changed his mind. He's playing safe. Gotta grind it out. How is the pace? How is the pace? I think it's quite well. Well, there is an extreme cut though. There is a cut. Honestly, the more I look at the cut, the more I like the cut over the bank. But he's called the bank. This is a must if Pettersson wants to make this a hill match and his break for the title. When it's close and it's there. What a shot he's played there. Robin Jorge Pettersson straight back on the 8 to make this a hill thriller. 1 rack for the title. And he celebrated like he already won the title. Yeah, I mean, everybody is loving it in the crowd, but I can imagine the feelings for the players themselves. Yeah, like I said, he had to leave 11, 10, 8. So 1 rack, 1 break. And like a lot of rap songs, I like to say, one opportunity for Robin Hagen Pettersen. It's all in his own hands. Oh, and the cue ball into the opposite side. It's been scratching into the right middle. Maybe overcompensating. So another chance for Aspon. This rack is open. I mean, I like the solids, but if he goes 4, 3, 1 into the right middle, 2 into the left middle, 5, 6, 7, 8 could work. Could also go 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 1, 2, and then the 8. Yeah, it's not easy to clear up after you just messed up probably the biggest opportunity in the match for the title. And also playing the safe and your opponent banking the 8 in, it double hurts. But you gotta park these starts. Oh, and he's missed the 1 into the middle. And how would you miss that 1 ball into the middle? Was he afraid of catching maybe a piece of the 9? Maybe so focused on getting himself the desired shape on the 2. Yeah, you could see in the background. Painful. And now literally everything in the open for Pettersen. Either way, whoever wins, this roof is gonna come off. I feel like the crowd is going crazy. This place might erupt. Yeah, 15, 13. The only thing I'm not a big fan of, to be honest, is the fact that he's leaving the 14 to get to the 8. But as long as you put yourself maybe near the 14 and just straight draw, everything should be fine to have the 8 into the middle, I assume. Well, he's got the angle. Now this is where the cue ball will have to travel a bit more. Run the cue ball towards the 14 and low left to get on the 8. Now, could also have the choice to play the 8 into the bottom right, but I like low left, catch the ball a bit thicker. You don't have to draw all the way to the other side of the table, even in front of the side, or maybe even a little shorter is okay. I think he's perfect. I think he's perfect. Look at this. What a finish. And that means Robin Hagen Pettersen survives a scare in this final match.
Fantastic final, and your Kamui European Youth Under-19 8-ball champion, Robin Halve Pettersen of Norway.
The Norwegian capturing his first European title in a heel fashion. Also, congratulations, of course, to Gabriel Aspholm from Sweden.
So please hang around. Thank you
But
very much.
yeah, I can imagine the excitement for this young man, but also the pain for Aspholm. Now, I would like to thank everybody for tuning in at Pro Billiard TV. We do have the award ceremony coming up right after this. So hopefully you can get to enjoy both of them getting the medals. This is it for today. We will be back tomorrow from 10 a.m. local Slovenian time. So hopefully we will see you tomorrow.
Good evening, and after those terrific finals, it's time to present our medals and trophies to our successful athletes. Firstly, let's welcome into the arena our presentation party. The Youth Sports Director of the European Pocket Billiard Federation, Miss Anne-Sophie Lofgren. And the President of the Slovenian Billiards Association, Mr. Mitja Gradiznik. Firstly, we'll be presenting the girls' 8-ball. So will you welcome our bronze medalists from Croatia, Tina Gulic. And from Poland, Julia Babica. Our silver medalist from Poland, Julia Kabaya. And we welcome our gold medalist and Kamui European Youth Girls 8-ball champion from France, Rachel Enfoy. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for the national anthem of France. Ladies and gentlemen, Rachel Enfoy. Moving on to the boys under 17s. Will you welcome our bronze medalists into the arena? Representing Finland, Viljo Oresto. And from Poland, Kazawry Marcinkowski. And from Germany, our silver medalist, Haojing Zhang. And finally, our gold medalist and Kamui European Youth Under-17 8-ball champion from Slovakia, Mark Zabo. Will you please stand for the national anthem of Slovakia? Once again, Mark Zabo. Our final presentation of the evening is for boys under 19. So firstly, welcome our bronze medalists. From Poland, Jakub Krobot. And representing Germany, Fabrizio Ingrazzi. We welcome our silver medalist representing Sweden, Gabriel Aspholm. And finally, our gold medalist and Kamui European Youth Under-19 8-ball champion from Norway, Robin Hauge Pettersen. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand for the national anthem of Norway? Once again, Robin Helga Pettersson. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our presentation ceremony for the 8-ball events. Thank you for staying with us, and we shall see you all tomorrow. Thank you. And would winners please congregate in the arena for photographs?